May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly Forex Forecast. We're looking at the US dollar index. Listen, this is the last couple of weeks of December. This ain't the greatest time to trade. All right. A lot of the big guys, the smart money and all, are on vacation. So the volatility that we would normally be trading in is not going to be there. All right. It makes the market's less predictable, less navigatable, if you will. So uh, trade with caution. That's all I'm saying. All right, and I will not be trading this week nor next week. I'll be just chilling. That's what I'm going to do, and that's what I would highly suggest. I would highly suggest you do the same. But for those that are looking for uh, uh, some analysis, I'm your guy. Okay, that's all there is to it. Now, we've been seeing that overall the U.S. dollar, the U.S. dollar index is bullish in a macro sense. You can see that this is an extended. This is a monthly time frame. It's going up. All right, making higher highs and higher lows. That's all there is to it. All right. Right now we're at the low of this ascending channel, and this may be the potential low for the next high move. Okay, so that's one thing to keep in mind. All right, let's get down to how many tradable days are we going to have next week? Maybe two. All right, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, not so much. Tuesday, we're going to have some news for the U.S. dollar, some unemployment numbers and all. Monday, there's not going to be any red folder news, so that's going to be a muted type of day. So Tuesday is really your best day to trade next week. All right, and you have the holidays, and most countries are going to be taking bank holidays this week. All right, so just be careful with that. All right, and this is the last. I should have mentioned this is the last forecast I'm gonna give for 2025. All right, and I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all. I want to thank you all for making uh, this endeavor of mine worth it. All right, by giving me feedback, likes, and clicks and all, whatever it is. I really appreciate that. And let's move on. All right. May profits be upon all of you. All right. Now, weekly, look at this. Last week, I pointed out this candle, right? I actually pointed out this candle. All right. I said, you see how the market closed here, closed lower than the previous month? Yeah. We should be trading towards that low. All right. Boom. We did. We traded towards that low and kept going. All right. And this is another one that I pointed out last week. I said, you see how it closed? All right. Closed well below the previous week. Look for the new candle to open and trade towards that low. And that's exactly what happened. All right. And what are we doing in the meantime? We're taking out liquidity lows here, taking out liquidity low there. All right. Now, what am I thinking last week? All right. The previous week. All right. It closed well past that low. We should be trading towards that low. That's exactly what I said. And that's exactly what happened. We came, swept this liquidity low, ran into a volume imbalance that you'll see on the daily. And you see the big bounce up. Does this mean we're going to the moon? No, it doesn't. But we are moving up. And you can see how it closed. It came down. It was a bearish candle, a blue bearish candle. And then it flipped bullish, right? And it closed well within the range of the previous candle. What does that indicate for the next candle that opens up? Probably going to see some continuation, probably going to see price trade towards the high of the current candle and beyond. We should see some bullish follow through. All right, going into next week. That's all I'm saying. Now, if we go to the daily, all right, I hope that was easy enough to see. Why do I got these different color candles and stuff? And what are we trying to say here? All right, so let me get rid of this if I can. Boom, I got the wrong one. All right, let's try that again. All right, there we go. All right, now what we can see is you see this series of candles, these bullish candles here that were overtaken by a stronger bearish one. So we have buys before a stronger sell, and that creates an order block, and that's what I had marked. All right, I'm going to mark this order block here. All right, this is a bearish order block here. All right. And I think we're going to be trading towards it over the next couple of days. And so I would be looking at longs if I was anybody else. All right. That's not trading advice. It's just me saying, I think we're probably going to continue up higher until we hit this. Why? There is this fair value gap here. All right. That's what I use to validate a valid, make valid anyway, to validate an order block is if I see a displacement after it. All right, displacement through a swing low. All right, a what do you call a fractal low, if you will. All right, we have that. All right, and with that close. So if price comes back up here, I'm looking for it to find some kind of resistance in this area. Now, I also want to point out too, we're on the daily time frame. I also want to point out too, from this high to this low, move it over here to the side, you can see that we are inside of OTE levels. This is optimal trade entry. All right. And when price comes around here, it can find resistance to push further down. Okay. So, but you got to get there first. And how do we know when this push up, this retracement after this impulsive move, how do we know when this retracement is over? If you go to the lower time frames, what you're going to be looking for is a price to give a sharp push, push down, like a what do you call it, a bearish engulfer, like you see here. All right, you see a couple of candles pushing up and then a sharp move down. This is what you're going to be looking at for. This is what you're going to be looking for in the OTE levels. There's a fair value gap that price could find resistance there and continue and push the move down. Okay, but that's when you know a retracement, a correction, if you will, to the impulsive move. Once this correction ends, then you can say, oh, let me take this trade right here and head down. Not that we're going to be heading down to the bottom again. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think we may be targeting a liquidity low in one of these two here, right? And then we'll probably go back up, but that's way down the line. That's after the holiday. So right now, for the next couple of days, I'm looking at some candles that are going upwards towards our point of interest. All right, or place of interest, if you will. All right, that's it. All right, don't go crazy this week, folks. Be careful. All right. Thank you again for joining me every weekend, and I will see you in the next video. May profits be upon you.